about 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago. How long was it? I guess about a week and a half ago, I had a video where I talked about how on maps of the Ottoman Empire, the border for Tripolitania or modern day Libya, no one could seem to get it right. And let me pull this image up. So this image right here, these are just a handful of some ways that they've drawn the border on maps. You know, it's almost like they can't really decide how they want to show Ottoman control in the region of Fezzan and Tripolitania and stuff like that. And so I had a poll asking you guys which option you thought was best. We're going to quickly go over the results of that poll as well as maybe super chats if we get any, but this isn't going to be too terribly long of a stream. So firstly, by far the Sawtooth border, number 4 on the map right here, that one was by far the most popular. And then option 3 was the second most popular. And then option 6, I was actually kind of surprised. Option 6 was in 3rd place, with option 5 in 4th, and then no one likes the small dip. But in spite of the Sawtooth being in 1st place, I thought, well, it's one thing to ask which is the best border, which is the worst border. And for the worst border, it was actually really close. So while option 6 is the 3rd most popular border, it was the most hated border too, funnily enough. So it's a very divisive border, as I kind of figured it would be. The small dip was really close though. They both effectively are at, like, this rounds up to 40%, this rounds up to 41%. So small dip is also very hated and unpopular, but the de facto border is by far the most divisive. The Sawtooth, the funny thing about the Sawtooth border is, like, no one really hates the Sawtooth border. Although the least hateable one was the medium dip. I guess unsurprisingly, the medium dip is just kind of, it's a medium option, so it's in the middle. Really, I'm not surprised that option 6 was gonna be the most hated one. But I am surprised that it was that some people did really like it as well at the same time. I was fairly confident the Sawtooth border would win. I've seen it on more maps. It's certainly my favorite. But that was interesting to see. But I did include some other questions on this survey. If someone used one of those borders that you didn't like on a map, such as with this one, but the rest of the map looked great, how much would it bother you? And around literally 2/3 of the respondents didn't mind. But around 28% said it would bother them so much they would look for a different map. Or sorry, 28% said that it would bother them, but they wouldn't look for a different map. And then 5% would actually look for another map. In a way, this kind of makes sense. I think with most maps, it's very rare that someone would, like, page quit a map or something like that. I wasn't really expecting too much different, although I'm kind of surprised that the map ruin section isn't a little bit higher, but it is what it is. And then the final question, for mapping these weird kind of borders, because part of the whole point of this survey was that this is a border that goes through sparsely controlled areas in the desert. There wasn't an exact border to put down, otherwise we wouldn't have this problem in the first place. So for mapping these type of borders, Do you think it's better to be more precision based or aesthetic? And uh, this is about as like evenly split as it can get, because once again, around 2/3 it's somewhere in the middle, or it depends. Which, yeah, I mean, you obviously want to balance between those two things, but between the extreme options, precise borders was slightly more popular. Um, it's kind of one of those things where it wasn't so much that I was expecting different results so much as I was kind of surprised at how overwhelming uh, the, these two results would be. I didn't expect it to be that strong. I thought it would actually be kind of closer to like 50. Um, but yeah, and I'm not sure when my next survey will be, because I want to do another one of those videos where you guys get to vote on the peace treaty again, because I've done one for Versailles and I've done one for the Congress of Vienna. I haven't quite decided what the third one will be yet, but I do want to have one of those soon. So look forward to that. Another thing I wanted to let you guys know about is that on my second channel, I've been doing this little series about early internet browser games. So, like Flash games and Macromedia games, the type of games you could play online, like back when I was a kid. And I just recently released a video, the second one in that series, on my other channel. I made one about the Heliattack games a few weeks ago, and people seem to like that one. And so I just released the second episode today, talking about games that are basically rip-offs of an arcade game called Boulder Dash from the 80s. Maybe some of you may have played some of these games when you were younger. Like, I know that Aqua Energizer and Crypt Raider were really popular. But I'm going to post that link in the description for you guys to check out. I really appreciate it, because I'd like to make more of these. It's nice to have a channel where I can just talk about other things other than history maps all the time. I do appreciate if you get that listen. Yeah, that's really it. This wasn't going to be a long stream. It was a pretty short survey, but there you go. Those were the results. The Sawtooth Border is the winner. The de facto is just barely the most hated, and most people are sane and don't see everything in black and white. So that's good to know. Yeah, I guess that'll be it. I'm Emperor Tiger Star, and I'll see you guys next time.